We looked into horror films before, and I found that typically the protagonist is female. So I found in Psycho, the main shower scene where the female is having a shower, so she's already in the state of vulnerability as she's in the shower, and it's meant to be private, but the murderer is seen behind the shower curtain. But also it's a female, so the audience assumes she's vulnerable already anyway. Also in Scream, you've got the vulnerable female at the beginning, where she answers the phone and she's just flirting. We took the idea of the yellow top from Scream, as the female is wearing a yellow top and she's got blonde hair, and that influenced us for the character Annie. As Annie is blonde, we made her blonde, and she's also in a yellow top. This connotes innocence and vulnerability in Annie. Also in All the Boys Love Mandy Lane, Mandy is the protagonist. She's the one that ends up getting hurt through all these jealous boys. So that relates to our storyline of jealousy and envy. So that's quite an important film that we looked at. We did find one example of a female antagonist, which is Jennifer's Body, which was in 2009, where Megan Fox played the role of Jennifer, and she was an evil zombie who wanted revenge. The protagonist can be seen to be Chris, however it's not completely set on Chris. It's more, we want the audience to think about if he's a protagonist or not, because he is the one being stalked and he's in danger, but the colours of his costume do not connote innocence, because his black coat in the scene in the flashback, black connotes mystery and secrecy, so the audience are going to think that he's hidden something from them and hidden something from Katie. That's why she wants revenge. However, we leave that covered up, so the audience want to leave and watch the rest of the film through the open, because they see his costume is black and they want to know why he's not white. He got a white costume, and which connotes innocence, and therefore want to watch on. We also used conventional props in our horror film. In the opening, we had a shot of Katie following Annie down an alleyway with the knife. We used the kitchen knife because we've seen that they are quite conventional in horror films, in the horror genre as well, and a kitchen knife is easy to get hold of, so it's realistic that Katie could have got the hold of the kitchen knife, and they are very dangerous as well. They can do a lot of harm. However, it's ironic because the shot where Katie's holding the knife, she's walking down the alleyway and she's in her white t-shirt still and it's completely clean, so the audience are suspicious as why this girl is wearing a clean white t-shirt connoting innocence, but she's holding a kitchen knife. Also, the low angle shot highlights the kitchen knife because it's down by her side, so when you actually see it on the shot you can see that it's really quite chilling to see that following Annie with this knife. We've seen the idea in of the knife in Scream, how we've gone against the naivety they display in it, as the girl is at the beginning of the film, she's reaching over and on the phone and she's grabbing the kitchen knife and just playing with it whilst just completely oblivious to what she's doing. However, it's done on purpose so the audience can use the knife, see the knife and draw connotations to danger and death, which the girl is completely oblivious to. However, we've gone against this naivety because we want to show the audience that Katie has got this knife and she's going to kill someone. Therefore, you can see that in our clip, in this clip of where she walks down with pace and the knife is seen, so the light highlights the knife, and then Annie disappears behind Katie connoting that she's going to disappear in the general picture, she's going to be killed. However, we include, this is our rough cut, so we included this alleyway scene in our shot in our rough cut. However, we decided after getting feedback that we didn't want to use this shot because we had a member of the public say that when they watched the film and they saw this shot, they didn't think it was believable, as Annie would realise that there's someone behind her, she'd hear someone behind her, which was one of our main, we did worry that that might happen because they were too close in our shot. But then we thought about it again, and we just think that maybe that using this shot makes it too clear to the audience what's going to happen, that Katie's got the knife and she's going to stab Annie and that's how she dies. Whereas we thought we rethought what we could do to show that she's murderous and dangerous, however not have it so completely clear. So instead we had the shot of just after the flashback, so we put it in the same place but replaced the alleyway shot with the picture of burning. So the flame is the same picture burning shot, over the shoulder shot of what was before the flashback, but it's the flames engulfing Annie's face more, which shows the passing of time and a thought and hatred that has gone into Katie's thinking as she wants to murder Annie. However, we think it's nice to leave it on a suspicious end because the audience don't know how she's killed Annie, and therefore that's another puzzle that can be resolved when they watch the rest of the film. So we didn't want to make our opening too obvious and too easy to follow. Another convention that we used is the prop blood, because a lot of the horror genre always, in most cases, always includes blood because of the death and the murder. We were inspired by the film Sweeney Todd through the use of the dim lighting and then the really red blood. The blood looks really unrealistic because it's so red and thick and it looks like red paint rather than blood, but it makes it so sinister and chilling to see this thick red blood on the floor and on the bodies.